Well, it's not my music. I got it from Facebook.
Cool.
Facebook, they are doing the classes. Have you noticed that they want to compete with Zoom?
I've barely been using Facebook at all, like for the last month or two.
Oh,
so I haven't noticed anything.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
There's this classes thing they're pushing
Oh.
for creators to use, and they're doing interactive, and they want creators to start charging for the classes. It's like Eventbrite and Zoom together.
Oh, okay.
And Facebook is not charging for until the end of the year for credit card fees.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So they said, do not use any music that you don't own. Do not. So here's a list of music that you can own. So I downloaded one of them.
Nice. So that's like just like the music you play when people come in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I like your flower, like your orchid or whatever in the background.
Yeah, that's Angelina.
That's the name. That's her name.
Angelina, yeah.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, and this is something that Tona gave to me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, you have a cool background.
I have a whole background. And then that light right there.
I can't see the light. Is that the colorful one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I memorized your apartment now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool light too.
I need to move the light.
I don't have the window right here because it's like always so bright, but I don't really have a way to. If I did it this way, then you'd see the bed, so that's why.
Oh yeah, I think the lighting is perfect.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Cool. All right, so let's get started, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna go through the agenda of the meeting. Really excited because before you and I talked about this idea, it had been in my mind almost every single Friday. And I'm thinking, oh, Friday is such a good day to get business owners together because it's probably the day that's least busy for most business owners.
Yeah,
so
probably.
Yeah. So when you talk to me about this idea, I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah, because we were talking about like all the credit card stuff, but then it changed into like business ideas.
Yeah, because it's one of the things. Some friends are kind of weird, like me, where it's just too many opportunities.
Yeah, I thought you said weird was not like part of the vocabulary.
Well, when I use for self-deprecating humor.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Which I'm working on, because obviously that was a bad joke. Which
I like weird, but you made a good point that maybe like different words are better suited for. I don't know. There's lots of different words that you could use to say instead of weird, so we don't always need to focus on that one.
Yeah, so I use that on purpose because I don't use it. So people that know me will know that Fernando does not use that word, and he's using it on purpose because he doesn't use it.
Okay, gotcha. So that's part of the joke.
Yeah, it's part of the joke.
Nice.
All right, so here, how do I do this? I'm using Firefox. How do I separate a tab from all the other tabs?
I haven't used Firefox in like ages. Maybe just try to pull it out from the other tabs.
Yeah, Chrome probably got the copyright on that one. You won't let me do that.
Can you switch to Chrome?
I just did it.
Cool.
Cool. So this we're gonna do announcements and overview. Yeah, here we need sponsors here.
By the way, you weren't living in San Diego before the pandemic, were you?
No.
Oh, okay, because there used to be this meeting. Do you know who Pat Flynn is? His thing is Smart Passive Income.
Pat Flynn, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's like a big name on like all this internet marketing stuff, but he used to run a meetup at WeWork once a month where we would do the same kind of thing, but it kind of like died out when the pandemic started. It
Good.
was fun. Those are good meetings.
Yeah, awesome.
So it's cool to do this on Zoom.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is next Friday, find a place to do it both in Zoom and live.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. All right, so announcements and overview. The announcement is that this will be happening every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific. And what I learned this morning is that the Apple alarms don't override the last one if I snooze the last one. So I'm going to use a second phone for that one, for a backup alarm.
When you have a meeting.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
A sponsors acknowledgement. This is so as we get more sponsors, this is the part that we talk about the sponsors. Today's meeting is sponsored by the Game of Life program. Introductions. Go ahead and introduce yourself, name, where you're from, and a fun fact.
Okay, my name is Janna, and I was originally born in Las Vegas. I lived in California since I was 12, Orange County, and then I lived in Bay Area, and then Orange County again, and San Diego. Fun fact is I lived in Spain for 1.5 years. And I also lived in Argentina for 3 months.
Oh, wow. Spain and Argentina.
Yeah.
Different Spanish there. Cool.
Yeah, very different.
All right. My name is Fernando Lopes. I'm from Brazil, and I moved to the US when I was 17, lived in the West Coast, now in the East Coast. The East Coast and now West Coast for the last 3-4 years. 5 years.
West Coast for 5 years?
West Coast for 5 years, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Fun fact is that when I was, my first business was a food truck business. And I would go to construction sites and sell food.
Nice.
Cool. So that was the introductions part. Now we go into pitches and role playing. And this is, probably one of the funnest part of the meeting. So here's what we get to pitch the group, and we can let's do that by you pick one person. So it's me. I'm going to be your ideal client, and you're going to pitch me, and you're going to give me context for who I am as your ideal client, and where are we meeting, or if we are talking on the phone. And then you're going to pitch me for a minute.
Okay.
And the goal is to get a yes, even if it's a small yes, even if it's a yes to a future meeting.
Okay. I feel like unprepared. Let's see.
Yeah, this is practice, by the way. I didn't expect anyone to come in prepared. This is actually the doing. We do it here. So
okay.
Who's your ideal client?
Good to practice. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So my ideal client would be like somebody like maybe like a 32-year-old woman who's like working in a really busy job, like mortgage, and like really stressed, and also like having health problems, like maybe like weight gain, and also like all these random symptoms, being tired all the time, hair issues, like hormone issues, and like trying to figure out like how to get out of this like vicious cycle of like overwhelm and stress, and then like cravings and not eating well, and figure out like how to feel healthy and great, and also like not just improve the physical health, but also kind of deal with the stress as well, like from the root cause.
Okay, I can be that person. And
Okay.
where is this conversation taking place?
Okay, so let me think. We are, I guess let's just say it's like a networking. I mean, like a phone call, like a casual phone call.
Casual phone call. Is she calling you or are you calling her?
I called her, but we agreed to a time already. We agreed to like chat a specific time.
Okay. You agreed to talk because what's the context? Did she find you online? Did she meet you somewhere?
Are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry about that. You froze. I forgot to turn on my Wi-Fi connector thing. I turn
Oh,
it off at
okay.
night when I sleep, so it's just now I should have a better signal. So sorry, what did you say?
What's the context as far as how did she get your number or how did you get her number?
Okay, so we are like a previous, like she used to work in the same company as me. I used to work in the same company as her, our previous coworkers. And so I
Oh,
reached out to her on LinkedIn and asked if she would like to set up a time, like health
okay,
related.
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so ready?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. How has work been?
It's been better, it's been better. The new company I'm working with, they're wonderful. So it's been really nice.
Oh,
How about
good.
how about you?
Good. I've been working on, transitioning to working on my business full time. I miss working with you, but it's definitely been exciting to work on this new project that I have.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm very excited about this new project you have. Tell me more.
Yeah, so I've been working, like I have a coaching program and I've been working with some women who are kind of going through work-related stress and health issues as a result, and kind of like the vicious cycle of feeling stressed and cravings and yeah, not having time to cook, feeling busy all the time. So I help people kind of get out of that cycle and get their health better than ever.
Oh, that's just wonderful. Wow. Yeah, because it's crazy when we used to work together, that schedule is just hectic, not sustainable. I mean, especially living in San Diego with so many fun things to do. And um, so yeah, so how's it going? How's the coaching going?
It's going really well. It's been great to be able to focus on it more. And how is everything at your new company? Do you have a better schedule there? Is everything like more manageable?
Yes, definitely. So get to work from home 4 days a week. Um,
Oh, only
the
4 days a week.
Yeah, 4 days. Right. Yeah. Work from home 4 days a week. So come into the office only on either Mondays or Tuesdays. Um, it's been pretty nice actually because one thing that I noticed is that I like working, but it's better if my boss actually trusts me and I feel like, they trust me and they just assign tasks to me that, I just do things. And sometimes I feel like it's my own business because I'm just doing things on my own time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Cool. All right, that was 3 minutes.
Okay.
So how was that?
Well, it was good just to like force myself to practice because I haven't done this kind of role play. So it was definitely like I didn't feel prepared, but it was good to just like think that way and like get into the flow. And also it's like a little bit tricky because if I was going to set up like a 15, obviously like I wouldn't do like a 15-minute role play, but if it was a real conversation, I would probably spend more time like on small talk and then maybe like at the end of the conversation get the yes. So it was like hard to role play it in like just like a minute or 3 minutes in this case, but it was definitely like just good to think that way and practice, discussing it and getting into that
Oh,
scenario.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe next time I'll set up the role play to be the previous conversation.
What do you mean?
Maybe you could role play a previous conversation where the person only had 3 minutes.
Yeah, like maybe think about a,
Like, how you set up the 15-minute call.
yeah, but I
So,
would, sorry.
so
Go
that
ahead.
conversation.
But what if that was on like Messenger, you know what I mean? Like a lot of that might be set up like just by texting or messaging back and forth. So
Yeah.
maybe what we could do is role play like the last 3 minutes, like after the small talk, like maybe like the person who's in your side could like ask a question. I don't know, like jump to like the juicy part of the role play. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that works. Yeah, I figure a lot of this role playing, it will be chatting online, message back and forth. So maybe there's a way to role play that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Or like, yeah, practice, like maybe even like practice like we could have like prompts, like, okay, now imagine that your ideal client, like this is the scenario that you're in and your ideal client just said this, like your ideal client just said like, oh, that sounds really good, but I think it's too expensive. You know what I mean? Like there could be different scenarios like that are more guided, and then you just role play that exact scenario. Like, okay, they just said like, I need to think about it because it's too expensive, or they just said like, what do you do? Like there's different like segments that could be good to practice at different times.
Yeah. So say the problem, the scarcity of time, money. What's the other objection? It won't work for me. It will work for others, but not for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do it.
And also just like maybe you have more experience with this because you probably done more of these calls, but like transitioning from like I don't know how you structure your free calls or whatever, but like if they're talking about their problem and then you as like the coach have to then make the transition to making the offer. You know what I mean? Like maybe like, or how do you do your discoveries or your free calls or whatever? Do you, because I guess yours is different because it's like NLP stuff. So maybe it's not just like talking about their problem, but actually doing, like, do you ask them like what their problem is and what they've tried and that sort of thing, or no?
Hang on. We gotta this. So the answer, I'll give you the answer in a minute. Right. Okay. So let's do my pitch real quick. I'm just do 60 seconds and then we do the breakout rooms, and in the breakout rooms, we'll do that. Okay. And even though it's just me and you, it's fine. All right. So let's put a timer for 1 minute. And then the context here is you are 45, single mom, who just got out of a long-term relationship with a boyfriend who is a people pleaser and does not have and wants to become empowered. Okay. And I'm calling you on the phone to follow up on a free session that I gave. Okay. And your name is Raquel or Rachel. Okay. Rachel, okay. Hi, Rachel. Hi. Do you have a couple minutes? Yeah, sure. Awesome. How's it going? How are the kids? Pretty good. It's been kind of a lot to manage on my own, but I'm hanging in there. You're hanging in there. Okay. How was the session for you the other day? I really felt like it was helpful. Yeah, like I really felt like it shifted some things in me, but I feel like I need to kind of, I don't know, maybe work more on what we practiced. Okay, I have a couple classes coming up. Would you like to join those classes so you can practice? What kind of classes? Those are the classes that you can join to release negative emotions or to help you make decisions, better decisions in life.
Oh, okay.
Would you like
Yeah,
the links?
yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. Okay, that was a minute.
Cool, good job.
Cool. All right, so thanks. Now let's see, hot seats. Now we're moving to hot seats. And let me just check my schedule. It's 9:03. Do you need to go?
I'm just gonna clock in, so I say that I'm working, but I don't need to go right away.
Okay. All right. All right, so let's see. So hot seats. Now, okay, so now you're gonna be on a hot seat, and we'll do a 60-second bunch of questions directed to you. Yeah, so let's do that. So you're on a hot seat right now, okay?
Okay.
And imagine there's a room full of people, and we're gonna ask questions, business questions to you. Janna, what do you have now for your business? How's business going now?
Not so great. I haven't really had any clients this year because I've been like traveling a lot and struggling with time, like finding time to work on things.
And how would business be if it was great?
It would be like earning a sustainable income and making me feel comfortable not working full-time job.
Okay.
And also helping clients. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And also helping clients?
Yeah, helping clients get results, growing, being able to implement all the ideas I have.
Okay. Have you met anyone that has built a successful business that you want to build?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, cool. So that was a hot seat. So here, after the hot seat, we would go into the breakout rooms, but let me go my hot seat. So hopefully you remember your answers, so you can take your answers to the breakout rooms.
Okay. So I ask you the same questions?
You can be the same, or anything that you would challenge me or anyone to really break the pattern or get real with what's going on and how they can get to where they want to go.
Okay. And you want me to do a timer, or you're gonna do the timer?
I got a timer.
Okay. All right, Fernando, how's business going for you?
Business is going great, and I'm ready to do a lot of sales.
And how have your sales been like so far this year or recently?
The sales, they have been close to inexistent, and I feel like I'm setting up a day where it's going to be $100,000 in sales
In one day?
because of the funnels.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what makes you feel ready for sales now?
I feel pretty comfortable delivering the solutions.
Yeah. So do you feel like you've been like preparing for a long time and now like your funnels are ready and you're like pushing the button? Like, have you already like pushed the button to start making sales, or you're like about to start?
About to start.
Nice.
That was time. Awesome. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. So now we go to breakout rooms. And here is where we ask, we have, so this is where we ask for help or recommendations or advice. So let's put a timer here for the sake of time. Let's do a minute each. So yeah. So go ahead and if you could ask the universe anything, what would you ask? Go.
Gosh, it's really hard.
If it was easy, what would you ask?
Where should I live right now?
Okay. Where do you want to live?
I want to live in San Diego, but I feel like there's like a lot of uncertainty, and then that's making me feel like guilty about working on business because I feel like I need to figure out this uncertainty stuff first, but it's like impossible to figure out. I know it's not really super related to business, but it kind of, that's what I've been working on mostly lately is like mindset and this whole time issue and prioritizing or allocating time. Like I feel like I need to buy an investment property before I get like a regular apartment, but then and I need to do both of those things before I like really focus on business. And so I guess I would ask the universe like just how to figure out this whole puzzle. It's not just about where to live, but what to do. Should I try to keep working or not?
Okay. So where to live and
you know what I would
continue.
actually ask the universe is like, am I ready to actually be a full-time entrepreneur? Because I have the comforts of being an employee right now, but I don't think that's gonna last, or that might not last very long.
You have a what?
An income and insurance and everything like that. But it's like I
Oh,
want to be an entrepreneur, but then like, yeah, it's weird, but
okay. You ready for some feedback?
sure.
Okay. So just let's do 1 minute feedback. So here for this breakout room, we're doing, I think we're better to do 2 minutes actually instead of 1.
Yeah, 1 minute is pretty short.
Yeah, so 2 minutes and then 1 minute feedback. All right, so regarding uncertainty, mindset, prioritizing, investment property, where to live, continue to work or not, ready to be a full-time entrepreneur or not, and income might not last very long. Was there ever a time when you were certain, 100% certain?
I don't think so, but recently I started feeling that way. I started not 100% certain, but I started feeling like I really believed that I would figure it out. But then it's like I felt that way, but then I like slid backwards. You know, like once it starts to get more real that like I might lose my job, then I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Okay. So let's see. I would so since you said you're already working on mindset, I'll go find people that you respect and trust. It could be authors, it could be people that you have either met in person or not, and see what they have done. People that have similar paths, maybe a young woman had a similar trajectory to you, and see what they did, and then find what you can model from that person. Does that make sense?
It does, except I feel like what the uncertainty that we're facing is like so new, you know? I don't know if you've like heard anything about like all these mandates that like the president's trying to do, where you like have to have like, they're trying to make it so you have to have like a vaccine to be an employee, and it's like
Yeah.
we've never really dealt with this. I guess some people have, but it's different than ever before in history.
Well, I'll probably also find this is going to be half jokingly, I would find a hypnotherapist to help release uncertainty.
You can release uncertainty.
Yeah.
So what does that mean, like to release uncertainty?
to release uncertainty at the root cause. So the uncertainty that you are referring to is what some people call fear. And when fear is released at the root cause, a person then releases any fear that's unwarranted or inappropriate and keeps the fear that's warranted and appropriate. Fear is good. It's a good thing. Unwarranted fear is not. Once the fear is released at the first event, which could be this lifetime or not, could be in the womb or not, could be passed down genealogically or not. And when I mean this lifetime or not, it's nothing like woo or spiritual. Have you heard of the study of the mice and the electrocution and the sandalwood smoke?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not 100% sure.
So there's a group of mice. Scientists electrocuted the mice and blew sandalwood smoke at the mice to the point where they just blew sandalwood smoke and they thought the electrocution was coming. They would freak out. Then the mice had babies. They didn't do anything with the babies. The babies grew up. The babies now grown up had babies. Now the grandkids grew up, and the scientists blew sandalwood smoke in the cage, and the mice freaked out as if they were going to be electrocuted, and their parents were never electrocuted, and they were never electrocuted themselves. Their grandparents were. So it proved that mental baggage gets passed down genealogically.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. But this is a conversation for another time. So take away. So now hot seat. 1 minute. Go. Okay. I'm on the hot seat.
Okay. So am I supposed to ask you questions? I forgot.
Yeah, you're supposed to ask questions. No, we already did a hot seat. This is the breakout room. So now breakout room.
Okay, about your answers. Yeah. So I can ask you more questions about that, or?
So the breakout room is I get to ask the universe. Like ask the universe, like if I could ask anything, what would I ask?
Okay, if you could ask the universe anything, what would you ask?
I would ask for a sales team.
Why is that?
Because I've been setting up my meetings and my classes, and I love setting up classes and I love running the classes. And it gets to a point where I go, oh, now I have to let people know about the classes. And that's where the sales team would fit in. Because I feel like I'd rather spend time doing the classes and not actually doing the marketing part. So I love to have a sales team.
So you feel most alive when you're actually just like delivering your like life-changing services, or doing what you do as like a hypnotherapist. You don't really love the whole selling part as much, or the marketing part.
I do. It's just that I feel like other people can do it. So I feel like I'm stealing someone else's job.
Interesting. And
so so my ask is, do you know anyone that could be a sales manager that can hire other sales people? So maybe finding a sales manager that can then bring their sales team or assemble a sales team.
It sounds like a big do you envision that happening like immediately, or is that more like a long-term vision?
Immediately.
Okay, cool.
Like I could be giving a talk this weekend. That's going to be an event here in San Diego this weekend for healers. I could be giving a talk there and do the emotional release in a group and release, say, fear at the root cause. And after that, maybe 10, 20, 50 people want to sign up for my programs. and the programs are set up for 50, 100 people. It's good to go. So by having the salespeople, I believe will allow for the funnels just to start working.
So they
And
would be getting people to go to those events and then get those, then when they go to the events, it would get people into the funnel. Is that how it would work?
well, I guess this part is more about like, I need to change this part a little bit. I need to make it simpler. So it's more about ask and then receiving recommendations or advice.
Oh, okay. So I should be giving you advice.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
it's all good. It's practice. Today's practice day.
Yeah, I thought I was supposed to be asking more questions. That's true, because you did give me advice about the mice thing, and the hypnotherapist. Okay, do you want me to give you advice?
Yeah.
The time's up. Okay. Let me think. What is the next, like, have you actually like done anything to start assembling your sales team? Like, where have you like left off in that project, or is it just an idea right now?
It's literally, this is like as if you're God or goddess and you just say, do this, and
Do
it's
this?
okay. Yeah. It's that
Okay.
simple.
I guess what I would do is start brainstorming like a list of people who you know who could be either a good fit for the sales manager or who would be likely to know a sales manager. And maybe you could post on like Facebook. That would probably be a good way to like get more eyeballs on it, and then start having conversations with people.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a good way. And maybe, if you do these events, then you'll get more people to know about your business. And then some people might be looking for a job. Maybe they lost their job recently for stupid reasons. And, they're looking for something like to work for a company that's like more, more like different than a typical corporate setup. So that might be good to like network with healers who might have their own business, but then they might also be like looking for some, like maybe they're good at sales, they have a background in sales and marketing, and they actually are more excited about sales in some ways than just doing, let's say for example, they're a yoga teacher and they like yoga, but they don't want to do like yoga classes all day, every day. They might actually get excited to do some things like to get more eyeballs or get more people into your business.
Thank you. That was great.
Yeah.
Great advice. Thank you for the advice. Now we go from breakout to takeaways and learnings. So 1, 2, or 3 things that you're taking away from today.
Okay, one thing is I probably would benefit from like doing more role plays and like actually thinking through like the process of how people would find me and how the conversations would flow, so that way I can identify like you had a very specific scenario that you role played, but it was like when you told me to role play, I was like, like I don't even know like how this would, I think I need to like have a more defined like process for getting those kinds of conversations and getting, even though I have an idea, I think I need to just like define it more and role play and practice more. And then the other takeaway is probably related to what you were saying about the mice. Like, I know that some fear and uncertainty is warranted and some is not. And I've like in the past few months, I've had to really like work on that, and I did, but then it's like sometimes something will happen to trigger like to get me, it's like almost like we have to be careful not to get sucked into like fear and like negative thinking and stuff like that. So it's a good reminder to think about that, and also probably do some releasing emotions around that, because I didn't even know that that was something that could be done for uncertainty. So thank you for those tips.
Welcome.
And advice.
Very welcome. For me, takeaway is to post something on Facebook, because I have not, a lot of the people that I know don't know what I've been doing for the last year. So So post something on Facebook regarding the sales position. And yeah, that's it. I think that'll be pretty powerful. So thank you for that advice.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And that's let's see. Okay, so the last part would be the testimonial. Yeah, so this would be the testimonial. So what would you tell someone who is a business owner who is thinking about joining this group? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that, you know, it's a great way to exchange ideas and get inspired. You're a very creative person, and you know, I've learned a lot from our conversations, and I would recommend, you know, joining this group to get this like discussion and practice in a nice, like formatted, but also fun environment.
All right, cool, thanks. I would tell people that if they have 30 minutes to an hour on Friday mornings, then it's a good investment in a fun way to come role play and get ideas, exchange ideas. So they can go into the weekend releasing any anxiety, any fear about the weekend or the following week in regards to their business. So it'd be a good way to also release any negative emotions.
How does the releasing negative emotions come
What's
up?
that?
How does this release negative emotions?
Okay, so for instance, for me, I had a negative emotion during our role play, which was anxiety.
Hmm.
And after you gave me your advice, that anxiety was released.
Oh, okay. About the sales manager?
Yeah, just posting on Facebook.
Oh, thank you. I felt like I didn't have like I almost had anxiety about giving you advice because I felt like I didn't have anything useful to say. But that seemed like so simple to me, but I'm glad it was helpful for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just need to have advice from other people. And probably the hypnotherapy thing seems so obvious to you, but not to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's and that's something that you know, the hypnotherapy is something that yesterday I was telling you, what's his name? Adrian from the meetup from Wednesday, the Cuban guy.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, he invited me for something on Wednesday, on Sunday, and I said I would love to go. And I'm doing a talk on Sunday, on hypnotherapy, and he goes, dude, my girlfriend does hypnotherapy. I was like, what? Yeah, his girlfriend does hypnotherapy, and he was like, dude, it's the best therapy ever. And of course, every therapist would think their therapy is the best ever.
Yeah.
But I've been hearing that for the last few months here in San Diego, where I had never heard before. People really have a positive spin to hypnotherapy here in San Diego that I've never seen before, which is
Really?
great. Yeah. And I had forgotten how powerful hypnotherapy is. And sometimes I have forgotten that hypnotherapy is above NLP. And so I'm like, okay, I need to like be more diligent about speaking up about this thing. So like you telling me about your findings or your takeaways, it's like it's giving me that, you know, that awareness, like, hey, this, like, I need to get more serious about it in a fun way and be like, hey, if you want to get really, you know, release this, it takes, you know, an hour and 15 minutes to set it up and then 15 minutes to release. You know, you want to do it, yes or no? So yeah, I feel like I need to be okay with just, you know, asking people, hey, this is going to help. You want to do it, or you want to, you know, hang on to it you know, a month more or a day more or a year more, or, you know, because part of me feels like people are perfect and complete. And if I see them as that, then that's what I'm projecting onto them. They're perfect. They don't need me. And another part of me is like, yes, and I need to sell them on this idea that they can release that baggage.
I think I know what you mean. Like it's similar. I have a similar thing with nutrition. Like I almost don't want to talk to people about like the nutrition that I do, because I don't want to imply that like they need to eat better, or they need to like, I don't want to, like I don't want to be like the police and be like, oh no, you need to like make all these changes. But the reality is that like people want to improve. I mean, the right people, the people who want to work with us or our deal clients, they want to improve. And it's just a matter of like explaining like how you can help in a way that like connects to what they actually want. And I guess like, do you mind if I give you a quick feedback about your thing? Like,
Yeah.
when I saw your thing about the live classes, like releasing negative emotions, I remember we talked on Wednesday. I said like, I don't even know like what emotion I would be releasing. Like I have things that happened in the past, but I don't even feel like they're affecting me. But then like what's been happening the last few months has been like a big thing, but it's not like a one single event, but this uncertainty, And so I guess maybe like I don't know, like it didn't even occur to me that uncertainty could be an emotion that could be released through your process. So maybe you could just make more videos or put more information on the class page about like what types of emotions could be released, or somehow just make it more clear like what this is for or what this can do. Some people, maybe, I don't know if you're just trying to send it to people, send the link to people who know exactly what it is and they're like, yeah, this is what I want.
They don't,
But
they
other
think they
people,
know.
yeah, other people like me, it's like, okay, yeah, I like to think I'm whole, perfect, and complete, but then the reality is it's modern life, and like, sometimes bad stuff happens, or like things aren't always perfect, and that's okay too.
Okay, so yes, good point. I'll take that advice to put that in there. Yes, I'll do that. So I'll be a little bit more specific.
And I wonder if I don't know if
that.
you're interested in like this or not, but like a lot of people have negative emotions related to the pandemic that like maybe that could even be like a spinning point. Like I'm pretty sure everybody has some level of like, I feel like we've all been, maybe not all of us, maybe not you, but like most of the world has been like hit with this like subconscious constant fear. Even if you consciously know not to be afraid, there's like just fear, like it's like a fear attack, like your fear porn, like it's been like hardcore like fear porn, and people are affected in different ways by it. So that could also be something where if you really want to get people, like if you want to bait people on like why this can be so useful, if they're dealing with like fear and negative emotions and uncertainty and trauma related to what we've been going through for the last year and a half, almost 2 years, that could be a good selling point for these times. But I don't know if you don't want to focus on that, if you don't like to talk about it, or you don't want to like capitalize on that, but it's just an idea. People need that.
Right. That's a great point. So the pandemic, the fear attack from the pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. I can set one class up. Here's the problem with NLP and hypnotherapy. It helps with anything.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem, because then what happens is working one-on-one is way easier, because the person will say what the emotion is, and then when it gets to the release work, it may be something different, because during people talking like we're doing right now, it's the conscious mind talking, and the release work, it's at the unconscious level. So there's a few questions during the release work where the person starts going to a place in time in their memories that they probably never knew existed. So it's similar to the quote, that marketing quote, you sell people on what they want and you give them what they need.
Yeah.
And this is what happens with the NLP and hypnotherapy and release. For instance, last time we did the class was Tuesday. We had 4 people and they released anger at the root cause.
All of them?
All of them. And they were not angry people.
So you were the one who chose to focus on anger, or they chose to focus on anger?
We chose anger because it's the first emotion on the process.
Okay.
So it's anger, then sadness, then guilt, then hurt, then guilt, then anxiety, then limiting beliefs, and then the greater problem. And the greater problem, it's usually it's the big one. So yeah, so we chose anger because of the sake of time, and it was experimental. It was like, you know, this usually sometimes takes 2 hours for one person to release all the emotions, but let's just do anger today. And we did it under an hour. And
Nice.
these people were peaceful and everything. And after the session, they were like, I did not know my unconscious mind had suppressed so much anger.
That makes sense.
One of the jobs of the unconscious mind is to keep your heart beating, and to keep your heart beating, it will suppress negative emotions until you're ready to deal with them.
Yeah. And I guess you could have had anger in the past that's still affecting you now, even if you're like peaceful now. And there could also be like things that other people do, like, you know, politically or whatever, that's like causing anger, even if you're not like screaming, you know, unless you like us and go to the beach and scream, like you're not like express. Well, I, you know about it, like that TMS thing, like our brains keep us safe, so we can't be like walking around in a rage all the time. Like if we really responded to like the anger about what might be going on in the environment or politics or our ex-lover or whatever, you know, like there's so many things that we could be angry about, but maybe like our unconscious mind is like keeping us safe. So it's like, okay, no, we're not going to express this anger because we can't be like screaming. It's not socially acceptable to scream at all, really, you know. So like we can't look like a crazy person. So it's like suppressing the anger, and then physical health issues come up or whatever, you know. So I'm sure everybody has anger about, to some level, even about, you know, having to stay at home for a lot of last year. Like people probably have anger about that. There's so many things that we could be angry about, like on that like deep level. So I can see how it's like, even if they seem peaceful, they need to release it anyways, and it's still there, it's still under the surface.
And how long are you now? Let's close this let's close the business talk. Okay, so this is no longer business talk. Do you have a couple minutes?
Yes.
You've heard me talk about releasing emotions for some time now, and you haven't asked to, you know, to work with me. Why is that?
Wait, what was that?
You have heard me speak about releasing emotions and helping people release negative emotions, and you have not asked to work with me to release.
Oh, why?
Yeah, why is that?
Well, for one thing, you told me how much you charge, and I don't really like want to pay that much money right now.
Okay.
And also, I've never really done that kind of work with somebody who I don't want to say it on the recording, but.
Oh, we can stop recording.